Zogipon. It is snowing. Huh, sweetie?
That's right, baby doll.
Hey, Boozhoo. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Nanaboozhoo. Over here, the lovely and the talented.
Oh, get out of here, will ya?
Natasha. Mikadon Boozhoo, Weenie Mushane. Say hello to the people.
Boozhoo, Kakina. Hello, everyone. How you doing?
And over here, the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Mikadon Boozhoo, Niji. Say hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. And, doing an evening podcast. Thought we'd come back on for no good reason whatsoever, except I found some old videos. I was like, hey man, I kind of want to play some music tonight. Play some music for the people on this beautiful evening. You know, I just wonder sometimes, sweetie.
What's that?
You worry about certain people. You don't hear from them for a while, and I think, what is Always Learning doing right now?
I know. I'm so worried about Always Learning.
I mean, what if... Hey, guess who's here?
No way!
Yep. Always Learning. Boozhoo, Always Learning. Let's get a gold star for Always Learning.
Boozhoo, Always Learning.
How you doing? Followed closely by Joseph. Can we get a silver star for Joseph?
And a silver star for Joseph.
And hey, Jessica Waboos. Good evening. Jessica always has a kind of a sixth sense of what the Ojibwe phrase is going to be. She always uses the word. Good evening, Jessica.
Boozhoo, Jess.
And Natasha says hello. And Gwen's here. Boozhoo, Gwen Carly. Gwen's here, sweetie.
Well, Boozhoo, my sister from another mister.
And good evening. Mino Onagoshin. Good evening. I always feel like a vampire when I say that.
Good evening. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. Is that your impersonation of the Count?
Ha, ha, ha. I love to suck your blood. Nah.
Yeah. Mino Onagoshin. Good evening. I wonder how that old Count's doing.
We haven't talked to him in a long time. You want me to give him a call?
Would you mind?
Yeah, sure. I'll just call him up. Hang on.
I'm going to call up the Count from Sesame Street. See how he's doing these days. I wonder if he got a vaccination.
I don't know. It's ringing. Hi, is this the Count? Well, hello, Count. This is Natasha. That's right, from the Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo podcast. Yeah, how you doing? Say, do you want to be on the show tonight? Yeah, Nanaboozhoo wanted to talk to you. Okay, I'm going to transfer you. Hang on. All right, sweetie, he's on line 2.
Okay. Count, welcome back to the Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo podcast. You're on the air. Well, Nanaboozhoo, it is such a delight to be on your show once again. Good evening, my friend. Well, that's why I wanted to call you. I was wondering, did you want to learn the Ojibwe phrase for how to say good evening? I would so love to learn how to say good evening in Ojibwe. Because sometimes when I'm at the casino, I want to say good evening to the Ojibwe people, but I do not know how. Well, they speak English too, so, you can just say good evening. Or you can say, Mino Onagoshin. Mino Onagoshin. Good evening. Oh, that is a beautiful language, the Ojibwe language. It just rolls off my tongue. Mino Onagoshin. Good evening. Yep, very good. I like how much enthusiasm Count has just off the bat.
Yeah, he doesn't even know he's going to be on the show. Now he's like the best guest.
So you been, Count? Ah, not too bad. I love be out and about at night. How do you say night in Ojibwe? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Because night is Dibakud. Dibakud, night. I am a creature of the night. Say, do you know that song by Kiss? You mean Creatures of the Night? Oh, I love that song. Ah, ah, ah. In the night, I will be waiting. Ah, ah. That is like me, waiting in the shadows where I can pounce and suck your blood. Okay. People forget that, the Count's a vampire.
I know, he does horrible stuff.
So have you killed many people today? Not yet, but the Dibikad is early. Or young, or whatever. Yeah, the Dibikad, the night is young. Alright, well, but otherwise things are going pretty well for you? Yeah, I suppose. Have you gotten your booster shots? No. I am a creature. I am an undead creature. I cannot be killed by a bat flu. Are you kidding me? I am a vampire. I give bats the flu. Oh, okay. What do you think of your coworker that what's his name? Big Bird? He got on there and he was telling the kids to get vaccinations. Oh, that Big Bird, number one, he is a sodomite. What? I have to repeat myself. Do I stutter? It sounded like he said he was a sodomite. Yes. And why would he be telling children to get a vaccination? Like children have any say in whether or not they become vaccinated. That is so strange. It is sort of weird, isn't it? Like, why would he encourage children to get vaccinated? Like, is he hoping the kids will then pester the parents? Because kids don't make those decisions for themselves. It's outrageous. Yeah, it's outrageous. That's a good word for it. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking to you about this. So, you're doing well. You look good. You haven't aged a day since I used to watch you as a kid. Well, once again, I am an undead creature. We vampires, we never age. You never age? Well, unless, of course, we do not get the precious, life-giving energy that only blood that can sustain us. Yeah. Hey, speaking of blood, I learned something really interesting today.
What's that?
Owen Benjamin was talking about the fractal nature of the Bible.
What?
This is just a weird thing. Anti-venom, if they have anti-venom, potions. If you get bit by a poisonous snake, in those cultures they have anti-venom, and you know how it's made?
How?
They take a snake, the snake bites a lamb, and then the lamb's blood cures venom bites.
That's insane.
I don't understand. Well, it's kind of like biblically they talk about, Satan being the snake and the lamb, Jesus being the lamb. And in reality, if a snake bites you, you have to get the blood of the lamb to cure you. Oh, I see. It is also symbolic. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that kind of blew my mind a little bit. Anyway, so, I just wanted to call and teach you a little Ojibwe. In case you're, way back in the Ojibwe speaking casino. I bet you up in Canada there's more Ojibwe speakers at any given casino.
Yeah, I wonder, where do you suppose the most Ojibwe speakers are?
I always picture Canada, Bear Island or something. Like the Tamagumi. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, good luck with that. When you're up looking for people to bite, you got to say, Mino Onagoshin. Mino Onagoshin. Good evening. Well, Nanaboozhoo, allow me to say, Mino Onagonashin, my friend. Yep, Mino Onagoshin, Count. And to you, Natasha.
Yes?
Mino Onagoshin.
Mino Onagoshin, Count.
Okay, I'll see you later, Count. Well, the Count.
Yeah, he's a good spirits.
Yeah, I think he just finished off some adrenochrome.
You think he's on adrenochrome?
Yeah, all those Hollywood types. I mean, sure, he's a vampire, but he's also a millionaire actor, part of the beast system.
Yeah. Do you think the Count sold his soul to the devil? For fame?
Probably. All that gothic stuff, you know. Don't trust him. Anyway, today what I wanted to talk about.
What are you going to talk about?
Nokomis and Mishumis. Nokomis is your grandma. Mishumis is your grandpa. And these are Michael's grandparents. Hey! Hope I don't mind. I pulled them up. No, it's fine. Aubrey and Leona. Happy couple, huh? Yeah, actually in that picture, you can tell she's kind of gripping into his side. Yeah, she is. He was goofing around and she wanted him to stand still so they could get that picture. Are they standing in front of a Christmas tree? Yep. It was like Christmas in the 70s. Oh, Nokomis and Mishumis. Oh, but before we do that, sweetie.
What?
Is it too soon to segue into home?
La 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 la, little soon.
Okay. Nokomis, grandma. Mishumis, grandpa. And what can I say about grandmas and grandpas that haven't been said before? That's one kind of defining thing. Speaking of Ojibwe culture.
Yeah?
Number one, a lot of people, they don't understand. Hey, what is that? You guys hear that? There's a loud truck or helicopter going down or something. What was I saying?
Grandparents and culture?
Oh, yeah. So this show is about language and culture, right? So you get your language lesson. Nokomis, grandma. Mishumis, grandpa. But culture, what is culture? Culture is the way people act. Just loosely, Like when people say, oh, Native Americans have such a rich cultural practice. It's like, well, everybody has a rich culture. You can't not have a culture. Oh, white people, we got no culture. Oh, I'm just poor white trash. I got no culture. No, that is your culture. It's the foods you eat, the kind of clothes you wear, and the way you talk to each other. And, the different roles people in the family have or don't have, Culture is just the way things operate. And in the Anishinaabe culture, there's a strong bond, for whatever reason, between grandparents and grandchildren. It's probably the most universal cultural thing I've come to know about Indian people, is that is one stereotype that's kind of true. Indians revere their grandparents. And they can have some pretty sketchy grandparents who weren't great parents to their parents. But everybody loves their grandma and grandpa so hard. And their grandparents, and the other side is that Indian grandparents are really into their grandchildren. They're hard on their own kids. They're quick to side with their grandchildren. And, there's a fierceness, especially grandmas. And Anishinaabe Nokomis is like a mama bear, They're super protective. You don't want to come between a grandma and her grandchild, It never ends well. So Nokomis and Mishomis. And today, if you don't mind me talking about your grandparents, no, go ahead. I'm going to talk about Michael Lyons' grandparents. So Nokomis and Mishomis. Oh, so the one thing that kind of connects a lot of Indian people, not only do they share this cultural relationships, special relationships with their grandparents and grandchildren, a lot of our grandparents, and for you little guys watching today, your great grandmas or your ancestors, your great great grandmas, we're starting to get down the line in history. But if you ever wonder, how come we don't speak Ojibwe? What happened that we all forgot how to speak Ojibwe? That seems weird. Just because you learn English doesn't mean you have to forget your language. Except our grandparents, most of them went to a boarding school. And just real briefly, in a nutshell, the way things worked was that back in the days of the grandfathers of the Mishomis, when the dust had settled and all the, white people were here to stay, and we quit fighting, Chief Joseph made his big speech, "I will fight no more forever. For long as the wind blows and the grass grows and the water flows, and who really knows, I will fight no more forever." So we decided to set up reservations, and the Indian leaders got together with the non-Indian leaders, and they said, "Okay, look, we're gonna sign these treaties. We're gonna live in harmony from now on by having reservations, and you can do what you like. But we don't want our kids to be second-class citizens. That's not our way. It's not our way to be second-class citizens. So you need to build some schools that are going to teach our children, English and actually a lot of good stuff. The trades. Teach them how to. They really raise everyone focuses on the language. So kids, they went off to boarding school, and the boarding schools would be hundreds of miles away from their home, and they wouldn't see their parents or their grandparents for the longest time. When your grandparents were little guys, your great grandparents and that. They went off to live in a school, and they'd stay in that school all year round, and they weren't allowed to speak Ojibwe at all. In fact, when they showed up at that school, they cut their hair off. They took all their clothes and all their jewelry and, anything, moccasins. And they gave them uniforms. And they gave them a new name. And they said, okay, from now on, Dances with Wolves, your name's going to be John Dunbar or whatever. And so these boarding schools, you weren't allowed to speak your language at all. You had to speak English, of course. It was like immersion school. But then after so many years, when the kids would get through the school, a lot of them, they didn't go back home at all. But a lot of them, by the time they went back home, they just started speaking English all the time. And the boarding schools had a way of kind of making our grandparents think that, well, what's the point of speaking Indian talk? English is, speak well. English is great, man. I went to boarding school. They taught me English is awesome. So they didn't teach. A lot of those kids, they forgot Ojibwe. Or they just never taught their kids their first language. They would just teach them English. You know, it wasn't just that the white people came in and made us speak English. Our own ancestors, when they learned English, they passed it on. And actually kind of discouraged. A lot of Indian people have the same kind of stories of their grandmothers and stuff saying, nah. They'll tell them, oh, I'm going to learn Ojibwe. It's like, oh, why? You know, hey, grandma, I'm going to the powwow. Why? You know, because they went to boarding school and they were kind of brainwashed to not really appreciate Ojibwe language and stuff. And so this show is kind of, it was kind of born out of Michael's grandparents, you know, went to boarding school. And, you know, he learned about that side of their life in little stories here and there. But then when he wanted to learn the language, he started drawing comic strips. Well, let me do that. Let's pause for a commercial. So Michael starts drawing these Ojibwe language comic strips and children's books, and a couple of comic books. Are your comic books in Ojibwe? No, they're in English. Oh, okay. But your coloring book is, right? Yep. And a coloring book in English. And then we also have a, so let me finish this story. So then started sharing these cartoons that would teach Ojibwe words on Facebook. And people start writing, oh, that's awesome, man. I want to learn my language too. But how do you say this word? It's half a mile long. I mean, yeah, I could probably maybe sound out individual, Mina Bushki Mina Sagani Batusi Jakani Bakwajigan. You know. So then we decided, okay, well, how about I come on and I can pronounce the words? You know, like Mishumis and Nokomis. Where was I going with this?
Oh, Michael's books.
Oh, yeah. So the books kind of turned into this show. And then the show also kind of turned into sharing songs and telling stories about Michael's grandparents. So before I play the song Home, which is about Michael's grandpa running away, and I'll give an intro to that. Let's I don't know. This feels like a commercial, but it's not. It's just a short video. That Michael has all these books for sale on Amazon.com. Click in the link below. I don't know how to start this. This is just, we will return after these messages. Where did I put it? No. There we go. link below to order your books today. Oh, you look just cute, sweetie.
Ah.
Click the link below. I was gonna narrate over that, but that guitar is so cool, sweetie.
Thanks.
So I didn't want to ruin the song. Anyway, so all those different books are available in the links below. And if you'd like to support the show, we got links to Patreon, PayPal, and GoFundMe also in the description. But without further ado, this is a song we recorded about Michael's grandfather. One more time. This old dude. When he was a little guy, he ran away from boarding school. Both of them attended the Flandreau Indian boarding school. And Aubrey, he didn't care for it too much. And he ran away 3 times by sneaking out and jumping on a train heading north. And he figured it would run in front. This is how smart even 14-year-old boys were in the old days. He knew the train schedule and how the tracks went. And he knew that the tracks, that whatever track would go, and it does, right in front of his, in Bina. And he could ride it back to his house. But each time, the cops would find out, bring him back. One time they took him back and they made an example of Aubrey. And they gathered all the kids together and they're like, look, you guys, if any of you get the idea that this young boy has of trying to run away, this is what's going to happen to you. And they whipped him with a leather strap in front of the whole school. Well, so the next couple of days go by and Aubrey goes, you know what? I'm going to do this again. And this time he was sitting in class and he said, I was looking out the window and there was a whippoorwill there, this kind of bird. And I said to myself, you know what? That whippoorwill has the right idea. So he closed his book and he got up and he walked out. And the teacher says, where do you think you're going, boy? He goes, I'm going home. And that's what he did, and nobody stopped him that time. And so this is Home, and it's dedicated to Michael's grandparents. Miigwech, Biz and Dawieg. And up next, lovely and talented Natasha. Miigwech. I was born in 1913 in the storm of 1913. But then at boarding school, I was nobody's fool. Down at Flandreau, I grew madder every day. That's why I had to run away. 'Cause this is no way to live. And I wanna go home. My brother Ray, we planned our getaway. If we can make it to them tracks, we won't be coming back. We're gonna hop a train. I thought we got away, but then the cops came and took us back a leather strap. But I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go. I remember it still. I saw a whippoorwill out on my windowsill. How could I sit still? So I got right up and I walked right out. The teacher said to me, "Where do you think you're going?" Boy, I said I'm going home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Me wiki way. Me wiki way. Me wiki way. Me wiki way. Oh, Giwe, home.
Ah, the song bummed me out.
Yeah, me too.
Niwikiwe. Hey everybody, how you doing? Yeah. Nukomis, Grandma. Mashumis, Grandpa. What's the first thing you think of when somebody mentions your grandpa? You know what I always think of, which is interesting?
What's that?
My grandpa always wore flannel shirts.
Yeah, mine too.
Yours too, huh?
Yeah, he always did.
We're kind of carrying on the grandpa look. Flannel shirts. My grandpa would always wear flannel shirts. And then it seemed like he'd like have boots, like maybe those. It always seemed like he had one pant leg inside of a boot and one out. He was a little disheveled at times. But, yeah, grandmas. La, 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 la. I've heard it said before that the reason why grandparents and grandchildren have such a special bond, especially like babies and their grandparents, it's because the grandparents, they're both close to the spirit world. Babies just came from the spirit world and grandparents are just about to go in. And so there's a certain kind of spiritual connection or something they have. So yeah. Jessica says, Nalani enjoyed listening. She's a little sad now. Sad song. Yeah, it's sad, huh? I'm so happy you're watching, Nalani. It's nice to see you here. Do you have good grandparents? Yeah. Daniel says, "Hey, Boozhoo, Daniel. Daniel's here."
Hey, Boozhoo, Daniel.
Daniel says, I visited my maternal grandparents' grave when we visited my sister in Canada. No kidding. Wow. That's always so ceremonial, going to a grave. Did you talk to the gravesite? Hello, Grandma. How are you? Did you leave a bottle of whiskey on there? There you go. In memory. La, 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 doo, doo, doo. So, what should we... I wanted to get to this. Not to totally shift gears too much. But, in today's section of Today in Conspiracy Theories is Morgan Freeman, Jimi Hendrix. Apparently, Jimi Hendrix, famous guitar player from the 60s. Jimi Hendrix died in 1970. So, allegedly. In 1971, Morgan Freeman had his first movie. This looks suspiciously a lot like the same person to me. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. What do you think, sweetie?
That's totally the same guy.
I know, huh? What's going on here? Morgan Freeman is Jimi Hendrix? Why would they lie?
Well, everything's an actor-based reality. All the celebrities, it's truth in plain sight. You ever notice how every celebrity has changed their name?
I know, that's weird. That didn't start with Caitlyn Jenner.
No, every single one of them. For some weird reason, they all have different names. Like even someone mentioned yesterday that Martin Luther King Jr., his real name is Mike King.
Yeah, that's not even his name. Martin Luther King Jr., his real name is Mike. Oh, but he changed it. It's like, why didn't you just name him that? His dad. Really? Who are some other people that are like... so what's the theory?
Well, the theory is that all the world's a stage, and not only is Morgan Freeman an actor in movies, he's an actor who plays this celebrity that is, there was no real Jimi Hendrix. It was an actor who they put on the world stage, dressed him up, made him a star, and then killed him off. And everything's a reality show on TV and in music and media.
That's insane.
Yep.
So who else is like this?
Well, Katy Perry apparently is John Benet Ramsey.
The little girl who was killed in Boulder?
Yep. There's a lot of people who speculate that. There's a lot of them. What's another one?
Yeah, I've seen it. Bill Hicks and what's his name? The guy who screams about turning the frogs gay.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones. Alex Jones and comedian Bill Hicks, they look alike. And Bill Hicks dies, and then Alex Jones becomes a super famous guy. Then there's a famous, Hitler is Walt Disney.
Yeah.
I know there's more, I can't think of them. Morgan Freeman just makes you think. Sunny day, la 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 la. Jessica Waboos says, Bitta like the snow. Sometimes she watches with me. Bitta's probably the cat. Do we have a word for snow today? No, it's Mino Onagoshin. Good evening. Mino Dibikad. Good night. Good night. Sleep tight. And let the dreams come true. With a wish and a prayer. La-di-dum-ba-dum. And now when we meet again, adios, Mina Onagoshin. Good evening. Mina Dibakad. Good night. when this show eventually evolves into basically an Ojibwe Lawrence Welk show.
Yeah, that's coming, isn't it?
Yeah. Before this is all over, we're probably going to just slowly, gradually transform into this being more music and like elders dancing. And then there'll be like the Ojibwe phrase of the day is Lawrence Welk. But then we can say that at the end. Well, good night. Sleep tight. And let the da la la. Okay. Auf Wiedersehen. Mina o nagoshin. Oh, but you know what? We have another word we can teach.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah. Gizakain.
Oh, sweetie, Gizakain.
I love you. Gizakain. And then we quetch. And you know what? You know why we have to teach us?
Why?
So the kids know how to say, I love you, Grandma, and I love you, Grandpa. Gizakain. Zaga-idi-win is the word love. But if you want to say, I love you, in Ojibwe, don't ask me why. Which is just the way we do stuff. We don't say, I love you. We say, you, love I. We're not saying you love me. But we start with gi. Like in Gigawabaman, man, you, I will see. Again, Minowa. So we say gi, zaga. And then we cut off the ed win. And go, een, me. Gizaga een. I love you. Nukomis. If you need to borrow money from your Ojibwe grandma, you just come up to her and you say, Gizaga een. Nukomis. Or, even better, if you really want to borrow a lot of money, and by borrow, I mean get money and never pay it back, you just come up and say, hey, Grandpa, Gizaga een. Mishumas, Gizaga een, Mishumas, Gizaga een, Nukomis. Or, Christmas is coming up, you guys. And quite frankly, Thanksgiving. People forget, when I was a little girl, I made little name cards for everybody who came to our Thanksgiving. And we would have dozens of people when I was a little girl. And one year I drew individual name things and a little drawing, a little cartoon for my grandma, my grandpa, and aunties and uncles and whatever. And put it like where they're going to sit around the table. If you have no money and you love your grandparents, make them a card. Make them a Thanksgiving card. And you could say, Miigwech. Miigwech, Nukomis. Miigwech, Mishomis. Thank you. Miigwech. I love you. Thank you. Don't forget to tell your grandparents that you love them and tell them thank you. You know what? If it wasn't for your grandparents, you wouldn't even be here. If your grandparents didn't do the dirty deed and done dirt cheap, your parents never would have been born, and then you never would be here. So don't forget to thank your grandparents. Aw, sweetie.
Yep. I wasn't sure how dirty you were going to get, but yeah, that's really true.
Mm-hmm. Curtis Mills knows what I'm talking about. Hey, Curtis, welcome back to the show. Curtis is here, sweetie.
Okay, Boozhoo Niji.
And Curtis says, my dad was military, so the grandparents practically raised me. That's another one. Culturally, a lot of Indian people, their grandparents are kind of like their parents. I know for me, people started thinking my grandma was my mom when I got older. Because then she was old and we were always together. Like, hey, how's your mom doing? So, you mean my grandma? Because, that's part of our culture. Sometimes people are in the military or, there's a lot of trouble in Indian country too. So sometimes mom and dad don't raise their kids. Lots of times Dad doesn't raise the kid, but sometimes Mom, she gets hauled away into county jail and Grandma's got to raise her. So yeah, I feel you, Curtis. Join the fun, bitta. Hey, bitta. It's an itty bitty tiny weedy itty bitty. I don't know. La la la. Captain Caveman, get out of here. Sweetie, Captain Caveman here.
Captain Caveman. Hey, bonjour, Captain Caveman.
I love Captain. I forgot all about him until just this minute. That was a cartoon where the caveman guy was a superhero. He had a club and a cape. And he would just, I'm a caveman. I got caveman superpowers. Not nearly as cool as Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than a human eye. He's got style, a groovy style, and a car that just won't stop. When they're going good stuff, he's super rough. With a Hong Kong Phooey chop. Hiya! That cartoon's not politically correct anymore, is it?
No, it's not.
That's what I like about it. With a Kung Fu chop. Hiya! The Kung Fu chop. It's a very effective means of self-defense. Miss Piggy's always giving Kermit the Frog the Kung Fu chop, huh, sweetie?
Yeah, she's abusive.
I don't like Miss Piggy. I've said it before in the show. I'm calling you out, Miss Piggy. You want to fight? You name the place. You name the time. Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon. What do we want? Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon. Yeah, remember that? When Antifa wanted to kill you, Miss Piggy? Who do you think was leading that march? Me. I did it. No.
Do you think you could take Miss Piggy?
Easy.
Really? I mean, she knows Kung Fu.
Yeah. She's also old and gross and fat. And she's in high heels. I don't wear high heels. I wear sneakers. I would wreck her. I would just destroy Miss Piggy. I should do a pay-per-view sometime and fight Miss Piggy. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Should we do that? Should we order a Miss Piggy puppet and I'll just fight her and kill her? Yep, that's right, Miss Piggy. If that is your real name, which I doubt. I'm sure it's your drag title.
You think Miss Piggy's cross-dresser?
I'm sure of it. Miss Piggy's gross. Should we pull up a picture of Miss Piggy?
Yeah, okay.
Since I'm talking about her? La-di-da-di-da. Okay. Miss Piggy. Yeah. Miss Piggy. Those eyelashes are fake, too, by the way.
You know,
Don't say it.
never mind.
I'm calling you out, Miss Piggy. What's it gonna be? I don't know. But yeah, I do kind of think Miss Piggy's probably was born Mr. Pig and transitioned along the way. Because that's a wig. It's a fake wig. She's got no neck to speak of. Pearls? Is that code for something in like Freemasonry?
I think it is.
And of course, like every drag queen, she's got to be over the top. You can't just wear regular people clothes. Oh, where's your bolo tie? Or not your bolera? Whatever that big thing Jesse Ventura used to wear.
Yeah.
Miss Piggy. But, she's jealous, abusive physically and emotionally of Kermit. She's talentless. You ever heard her sing? It's horrible. She sounds like a man. It sounds like a man trying to sound like a woman, which is the stupidest thing. When men try to do women's voices, and they always come up with some absurd, like stereotypical female voice. Have you noticed that, sweetie?
Yeah, I can't stand it when people do that.
I know, me too. It's the worst. No. So, Miss Piggy's a transgender. La-di-da-di-da. Daniel Black says, Piggy is very manly looking. That's what I'm saying, Daniel. I think we need to get to the bottom of this. I think it's time we out Miss Piggy. You know, anytime you see like two women fight on YouTube, eventually one of them kind of pulls off the other one's shirt. You never notice that when people fight in real life, they lose their clothing? They're like pulling hair, and then pretty soon a boobs comes rolling out. You're like, gross, man. That used to be a thing. Bars would have women wrestle each other. Okay, come in, see these two girls in bikinis roll around in the mud. It's like, oh, yeah. Come on, honey. We're going to the bar. Go watch mud wrestling with some, foxy boxing or whatever. Oh, look, they're rolling around in Jell-O this weekend. What? I don't think they do that anymore.
I haven't heard about any kind of female wrestling in a long time.
Do they still have a roller derby?
Yeah, there's still roller derby.
That's another stupid sport. Go watch a bunch of women on roller skates trying to knock each other over. Oh, yeah, that's real polite. That's a sport. How do you score? By not dying? No, thank you. Sorry, ladies. I'm not going to come see your roller derby match. La la hoo hoo doo doo doo. So yeah. Anything else, sweetie?
No, that's pretty good. You want to call it a show?
Yeah. I think it's about all I had for today. Well, you guys, I sure hope you have a Mino Onagoshin a good evening. And unless you have anything more to add.
Nope.
Michael, you have anything you want to add?
Nope.
Then I think I'll have to say Mino deep and good. I'm going to have to say goodnight. So, ladies and gentlemen, miigwech biz and egg. Thank you for listening. Miigwech gonna wubby egg. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Yeah. This is Nanaboozhoo.
Okay, miigwech.
This is Michael Lyons.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the morning.
And I am Natasha. And I will see you again. Kigawabamin, Munawa. Baby doll.
One to teleport.
Make it so.
Okay, babe.